Good morning. What's up, everybody? Back on it. Back on the damn thing. Actually, let's see here. Okay. Happy Sunday. It's snowing here in Michigan again. Starting to pile up. Feels like January for sure. Daytime. We're getting close. I haven't seen the 270s in a long time. Oh, what the hell? Hold on. Oh, sorry. No, all right. You have anything. Snow feels, it's awesome. It's weird. It's annoying at times. Let me turn that off. Hold on.
Mr. Underscore Seeker said, day 10, lost 9 pounds. How many more to go?
I'd like to get under 200. All right. 1 second. Sorry. Don't say everything. And also, save settings. All right. Now you have to use.
Ape said, hello world.
There you go. Okay. Now to say stuff. Anyway. So hopefully that prevents. Sorry, Maura. I'm testing a new TTS system. I didn't realize it would respond to everything that. It's summer here, so you're in Southern Hemisphere, like Australia or. Snow gets annoying. I'll say that. Snow is very magical during the first snowfall, but very quickly, especially if weather changes, things can ice over. The snow just gets dirty. You get so done with it. But right now, it's in a mystical moment because it has been cold, but it hasn't been snowing a whole lot. And this is the first substantial snowfall of the season. Definitely cool if you've never experienced it. And something about depriving yourself of I feel like it's weird because it's it makes the summers and fall better. Spring, summer, fall. Because you just have so much. That's another thing too, is you just don't see the sun. Because it's always cloudy or snowing or something. So I have to wait until the spring to see the sun again. But sometimes the sun will peek his head out and you'll have the most blinding, if you have a bunch of white snow and the sun is shining, it reflects off the snow. So you're your eyes hurt when you're driving in the morning or something. And you're just completely blinded. It's a pretty cool thing, but it's a pretty annoying thing too also. But I think it's by words. I think it's 25 words, Mr. Seeker. Yeah, I think so. There's different like configuration options. I'm just using SpeakerBot. If you ever heard of that. Good morning, Bulk. Yes, if you have a diamond, a mile ride, I'll get you a diamond. Actually, you can use TTS. Yeah, hold on. Let's see here. I can correct this injustice now. Ding, 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 da, ding, da, ding. Regulars can use this.
To use TDS.
I can't figure out how to pin the message, but I figure if people start using the say command. Exclamation say, Mr. Seeker. And it is the old TTS, so that stuff like that will work.
MR_Seeker said, my sprinkler goes like this.
Yes.
And comes back like I
remember back in old Ventrilo days, or TeamSpeak. I think you did spam like that. That's why I specifically chose the Microsoft voice for the default. One, it's free and it just runs off the local computer, and then everything else has just got kind of insane rates for cloud TTS. Looking back, I wish I would have just used like the standard text-to-speech API. I'm off my computer for most of Goopsy stuff. But UberDuck and like 11 Labs, those voices were all the hotness. But like, was it worth the Azure bill and the text-to-speech bill?
like eBay word.
Mr. Seeker broke his keyboard. Mr. Seeker broke his keyboard. Is the TTS super loud? I tried to lower it by a lot, but I'm trying to find a happy medium. But yes, exciting to see my weight trending downward. And honestly, once I hit 279, it'll feel like a big accomplishment.
Wee woo wee woo wee woo wee woo.
There's also a window, I feel like,
Woo,
Mr.
woo, woo,
Teaker.
woo.
I think there's like a 5-second grace window to prevent people from just spamming nonstop TTS. He's too fast. I had to bump the speed a little bit.
Awaya.
I might just have to turn off TTS. I can't even hear it anyway, so I feel like it's just annoying people that's watching. Maybe if I get like a headphone or something, or some way to control it on the bike. Interesting experiment, though. And then another thing, I was about to like program my own thing. That I remember there was something out there and I learned to just configure it. And now I didn't waste a bunch of development time. I just wasted like 15 minutes like learning how to set it up. Oh, good. I didn't read that. Good. All right. Turning it off. Turning it off. I can't hear anything either anyway, so.
Tralala.
All right. Sorry. Turned it off. Trolala. I will have to figure out something. So some guys I do sketch comedy with, we're getting together for like a workshop with Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall. And we all signed up together. And we're secretly hoping that we impress Bruce enough for him to take us under our wings, but that's probably what everyone who signs up for the workshop does. So we're trying to load up our pitches and stuff. But I like took a workshop from Kevin McDonald, also from Kids in the Hall, if you don't know. Oh, Bulkster with the puns. Anyway, I took a workshop from Kevin. I didn't get much out of it. In fact, I always thought he was trying to just farm ideas and use them as his own because he's not really doing much with his career now. So I worry about the same for Bruce, but you know what? I'm so starstruck that I still want. And I'm always curious to learn more about the inside works of like how his group works. Like, how did they get together? How did they put up stuff? It might just be obvious stuff like write it and go put it up somewhere. And then hope you get noticed by Lauren Michaels. But, you know. I've always got ideas. That's something I learned. I think that's like the best piece of advice I've learned from like someone who taught like sketch writing. Is just write everything down. Like if you're in the car and you think of an idea, pull over and write it down. If you're right about to go to bed or on the toilet, write it down. Like you think of an idea. You think of ideas in the shower. Pause the shower, write it down. Because guaranteed you will just immediately forget it. And like creativity is kind of fleeting, and sure, you might just be remembering something else that you've seen. And it's not original. But, you know, you build up this list of ideas. And sometimes it's just like nonsense, and you can't even remember what your original idea is because you didn't write enough down. But when you're ready to grind and start producing stuff, you have this huge list to choose from instead of being paralyzed by choice. Like, I can't think of anything at the moment. Yeah, on the spot, it's hard. But write everything down. Stand-up people do it. That's why every like professional stand-up person will have like, you'd be like, where's your notes? And they'll have like a little book or a bunch of disparate pieces of paper on their person. You got to write down everything. Everything can turn into something. You can, you're mining for coal and trying to turn that into diamonds. And so you got to have a lot of coal. Well, we're trying to, you know, we all got together as a group and like, what do we want to do? Do we want to get more serious with this? And everybody was like, yeah. And so hopefully, you know, all that talk didn't go nowhere. And in 2025, you see a lot more videos from us. And I'll kind of tease them on AiPD stuff, but we're going to post them on the Poker Nights channel. Soon to be rebranded, possibly. Who knows? Naming things is so hard. Oh, yeah? There you go. That takes some effort to get that top comment spot. I mean, people on Reddit, you jest, Bulk Bogan, but I would say you are doing the same thing a stand-up or sketch comedian does. And you're seeing what works. If you're like always consistently top comment, you're a pretty good writer. Or you're posting a bunch of hack stuff that you know will work all the time. But I feel like you don't do that. I would say you're a funny person, Bogan. That's another thing, yeah. You could say, go down the hack path of stuff you know that works, that will always kill, but you'll never get like a real audience. And that's kind of like the Larry the Cable Guy, fart, and poop humor, and just like not original whatsoever. You're telling like street jokes and stuff consistently. You're kind of squeezing the sponge. Jeff Dunham. Just playing off of racist stereotypes. I don't know. Anyway. And then there's like the original content. That's much harder. It's like your original thoughts formed, shaped into stories and stuff that make people get an insight into who you are. Much harder, much more rewarding. And you know, sometimes it doesn't pay off. You don't ever get that top spot saying what you actually think and like writing original stuff. But artistic integrity or for something, some sort of bullshit. But then again, I think that's something people who do original stuff just tell themselves. Because I think most people that say that, okay, take that hack bullshit and try to be number one. There's some skill to that too. I mean, you're not very well liked amongst comedians, but I bet tickets to see Larry the Cable Guy are like still $300. I don't know about that actually. They're probably ridiculous though, if he's even doing anything. I think I've said this before, but I just want to ride the high. I feel like the minimum to like mega stardom is maybe between like 30 seconds and 3 minutes. I just need something like super hot that I'm like majorly in. And I could ride that for a long time, possibly the rest of my life. Like I need a hit song or you know, a very famous bit that just becomes so ubiquitous. But then again, will that actually make me famous? Because sometimes that backfires. Like, I don't think most people know that Filthy Frank started the Harlem Shake. I think people who would never, ever watch Filthy Frank content, like, it was just so viral that you forgot where the original source came from. And people are like, oh, I play this song and do this thing. And, like, that's the joke. Very easily stolen. So someone could easily just slap their name on it, and people don't know where it came from, and it becomes this like lost joke, like a playground joke, like how the things that kids do with their hands or whatever, you know, or you know, if your hand is bigger than your face, you have cancer, and then you hit them in the face when they check. Like, how do all kids on all playgrounds know how to do that? Like, how is it spread that? I always wonder. Funny uncles of the world are spreading humor to future generations. And then once one kid sees that, everyone wants to do it to other. They're like, oh, I'm not mad. I just want to go and do that to somebody else. 3 pounds down. Yeah, what's up, Biz? I started at 287, so. 6 pounds total in 10 days. Trending downward. It's a good sign. I know I'm going to plateau eventually. I'm going to have to tighten up my diet. But right now, the easy pounds are coming off. It helps that I'm doing stuff 7 days a week. Really speeds it up a little bit. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I think I watched a special on Netflix about guide dogs. And I was actually shocked at how many dogs don't make it through. like they do like the same training for all these different dogs, and like a lot of them, you know, they get adopted by like friends and family of the people who train them or whatever. The ones that don't make it to like full guide dogdom. But in my mind, I guess I thought that given like the proper training early on in a dog's life, like 100% of them would become guide dogs. I think it's like 50% or something, which is a huge gap. Like 50% of dogs are just like so mind wandering that they can never be guide dogs. Half honored, half fussing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't consider that. There's many reasons to not have them go in. Yeah, you want reliable, healthy dog that listens to instructions on a dime. Pretty crazy. Yeah, you don't want to get a guide dog and immediately have to put it down because of some weird health issue. Like, you really got to vet that stuff. How traumatizing that would be. You're waiting all this time for a guide dog to get you around the city. That's cool as hell. That's really like, you gotta feel really good doing that kind of work. Because, like, you're really changing someone's life. I wonder how these trainers detach themselves. I mean, I imagine you can't totally go cold, computer shut down, and have no attachment to these dogs. It's got to be hard to put all this work into training these guide dogs and then just give them to somebody who did nothing other than be blind. I don't know. It's got to be tough on the psyche, especially if the person's like an asshole. It's like, I'm making a dog for this guy. I should just steal this dog. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. It's like, hey, if I let everyone pet my guide dog, it would take me 3 hours to get anywhere I'm going. If the jacket's on, it's a no-no. That's good. Okay. Good to know. I'm working. I wish humans had that. When my jacket's on, I'm working. Leave me alone. I don't need to know about your day. I've already wasted enough time not doing work outside of work. I wish I had a guide human. Yeah, where's that job? I guess it's just too expensive. If someone accepted the payment of 1 bag of dog food and some water, then maybe there'd be guide humans. Isn't a high-vis jacket a working jacket? You know what? Yeah. I guess that's the closest we have until, like, hey, I'm working right now. Don't talk to me. And don't hit me with your car. I had to turn off TTS. Oh, it's a shopping assistant. I've seen that too. Yeah, people who help you get your groceries, or people who like deliver it to your car and stuff. Like, I think some grocery marts near me have that. I think it's free. I haven't tried it though because I feel like it's only use it if you need it. See, that's the problem with some of these is like they don't want to advertise it because they don't want every asshole doing it. But then you like, I guess if you need to know, you know, or they like see you struggling and be like, hey, do you know we offer this program? But I feel like a lot of like, you know, like charity work and these weird like grants and programs are like, hey, do people even know about this? Like I feel like you gotta be on the inside to know. I think that's part of like social work, right? Is they have these centers where they help out people be like, hey, do you know this program exists for your exact thing? Let me help you set it up. Boom, boom, boom. There. Now you get some help. Yeah, what particularly about that, Biz? Or think they don't exist, yeah. People think you're faking it when you have a disease with a really long name. That sounds made up. It sounds like you're just lazy. Oh, I hate that too. You're just lazy. Come on, you can do it. Infuriate. I see. I think this happened to Bill Hader because he's got like an autoimmune disease, so he like really can't get sick. And so like long after COVID, I think he was at like an awards show, and he had to wear a mask. You know, he wasn't trying to make a political statement. Right? He's like, I got a fucking autoimmune disease. I'm not trying to make a, but everyone, you know, masks are still in America, still so politicized. People see it, and like blue collar, those Trump supporters just think you're a fucking pussy. And there's like so many reasons to wear a mask. Having an autoimmune disease, like if I get sick, I will get really fucked up and almost die from anything. People just don't get that. They go, oh, you're still a COVID mask. It's like, no. Me too. I love that in Japan that's like culturally acceptable. People did it just out of courtesy. I don't want to get anyone sick. I don't want to get sick. It's just like there was no, everyone was just on board with it. There was no, I can't breathe bullshit. It's a courtesy thing. You know, take it off when you need to eat, put it back up. Don't make a big deal out of it. It's not infringing on your right. You're helping society as a whole. We live in a society, okay? You gotta do things to help the greater good. The greater good. Oh, there you go. Then people have a reason to be like, oh, there's Waldo. So they want to have your mask up. Yeah, I also liked, just hiding. I don't know. It felt good because, like, what's that thing where it's like most people you see during the day you'll never see again in your entire life? Like, most people that I'm driving past on the road or whatever, I'll see for a glance, and then I will never. It has a name. I can't remember what it is. But it's like, yeah, why do I gotta show my face and interact with people I'm never gonna see again? Sometimes. I don't know. And yeah, people were more likely to leave you alone. Especially, I feel like, you know, women. I feel like, you know, you put up the mask, you don't get catcalled or hit on as much. Yeah. Equally existentially terrifying and freeing at the same time. Yeah, it's mind-boggling to think that there's that many people on the planet where, yeah. Like, I always wonder, like, I'm going to work right now. Everyone at my work is going to work right now. Why am I not, like, always lined up? Like, sometimes, very rarely it'll happen where I'll arrive at work at the same time or see another person on the freeway. But, like, there's so many people and there's so many different directions and so much that, like, even if you're a couple of seconds ahead, you might never see me on the road. That always blew my mind. I'm like, I should be running into people I go to work with all the time, right? I have a hybrid job now, and I like going to the office. I like the people I work with, and it's fun to hang out with them. I feel like I got a lot more done. I like the ability to work remotely, but I also like seeing people. You know, I purposely like sought something that was hybrid because I've been working remote for like the past 11 years, and I just want to see people again. And I think for like junior developers, they kind of take advantage of it, and they ruin it for everybody, where they'll like have their camera off or not respond to anything, and they'll just be fucking around doing something else the entire day, and they won't get any work done, and that's all on me. Ugh, I built up some super anxiety. That's one of the reasons I left my job of 11 years, is I came back from vacation, and nothing got done, and the guy was complaining about feeling like, you know, he's got personal stuff going on in his life. And I was like, for a whole week, you weren't able to do anything? Like, contribute one thing? And all my PRs were still up. I'm not merged in. I go, okay, I'm done with this. And they took the one other developer that actually did work and put him on another project because they were like, oh, you can probably do this alone. And it's like, no, I need him to help me because I'm stuck with this useless boat anchor. I've also learned to stop trying to be friends with everybody. For that reason, too. I'm like, it's kind of a wall I put up. It's like, if I don't see you like 3 times, I might never see you again, so I don't want to put the effort in. I feel like the perfect indicator of like if something's worth putting effort into for like a friendship or a relationship is, do they call you back? Is it always on you to reach out to them and set something up? You know, it takes work to be friends with somebody. But if it's all on you and there's no like mutual, then they're kind of just taking it for granted. What do you mean, Mr. Seeker? And it's not like a personal thing either. Like, it's like, you know, some people are just like in their own thing, doing their own thing. But like, if you're always trying to appease them, it's just never gonna. Oh yeah. Yep, yep. That too. And it hurts when it's like family or someone like you've known for a long time. I had a friend I'd see all the time. And like he finally reached out to me and I was like, oh man, I would love to hang out. I know you've had like kids and it's been a long time since we hang out. And he wanted to help me move. I was like so offended. I was like, help you move? I haven't seen you in like years. Like, what in the fuck? It really like soured the whole thing. I'm like, does this guy just see me as like an extra pair of hands to help him when he needs me? And it really got in my head. And maybe that wasn't the case. And maybe I'm building up this fiction in my head. And I should really just go talk to him and see what the fuck was going on. But at the same time, now he's moved. He's like not near me anymore. And so I just built up this hatred in my head. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, if I win the lottery, I'm going to the UP and buying like a lake house in a remote area. I feel like I'm sort of social, but I just have days. I'm like weird. It depends on the day because I'll flip. And I'll be an extrovert one day and like really need to get energy from people and see people and hang out. And sometimes I just don't want to see anyone except for Ellen. And I'll not want to leave the house. I'll feel bad because Ellen is kind of more extroverted than I am. But I'll just be like, I just can't. I don't know. There's this weird, like, crippling fear of, like, I just don't want to turn it on and be a person today. But it changes. Like, I get enough energy being inside that I do flip. Now I want to go out. Life is so weird. But also for that friend that I didn't help move and that offended me, you know, I wish I would have had some time to talk to him. Because sometimes it's like, yeah, it's like a fuck you. Or sometimes it's like, he's like, you're busy too. And like, I don't want to disturb you. And maybe that's why he didn't reach out because he thought, you know, I'm living my own life. I don't know. I don't want to spend forever chasing a friendship that's already over. But also it was like, just knowing the guy, it's like, I'm sure that wasn't the case. And like, I'm just not contacting him because of this fiction I've built up in my head. But that's the tiny time, yeah, what, we're going to be friends from living so far away? Maybe, I don't know. The healthier thing, I guess, is just to move on, yeah. Deal with the right now. Stop living in the past. I still have so many people I want to drink a beer with, yeah. And that's the case too. Like, my work has a happy hour every other week. And like sometimes everyone will come out to it. But a lot of the times no one will come out to it. Like a few regulars. But I would love to like get a drink with some of the people I work with because it's so awkward. Like I've been working there almost a year. And like I barely know their first name or anything about them. But we work at the same company, and we're kind of like a small company. We're like only 40 people big. And it's like I should know everybody, at least like on a base level. And they're just like in a different division. I just feel like, yeah, if we just got a beer, it would break down the walls. Because sometimes all it takes is like that first pancake where you're like, you find common ground, and then, hey, now every time I see you in the office, I have something to grab onto to talk about as opposed to just saying, good morning, hi, bye. I've always wanted to pick apart Tommy Wiseau's brain about why he likes James Dean so much. Yeah, it's interesting to see people get like the super fandom. Like maybe James Dean was just like the pinnacle of Hollywood actor, and Tommy always envisioned himself as that. Because Tommy wears like, I don't know, weird leather. I guess that's not necessarily a James Dean thing, but maybe he feels like he's like a cowboy or something. I don't know. Yeah, very interesting. And sometimes you don't even know. Like for me, one of those people is like Tom Green. I'm like so fascinated by Tom Green, and just such a guy who's not conventionally Hollywood, that like had the life, and like he just does what he wants. And like, yeah, that doesn't mean he's like on a sitcom or in a bunch of big movies or whatever, but I know Tom Green is doing what Tom Green wants to do from a day-to-day basis. And like he like kissed the top of the charts. Like he is a household name, Tom Green. Just this silly kid from Canada. Or, you know, Tommy and Neil Breen. These guys that so, you know, conventionally, if they tried to do it through the regular studio system, they never would have been successful. But they had a vision and, you know, made earnest attempts. And is it funny because it's bad, or it's funny because you think they're like trying? I don't know. I'd like to think it's not mean, but that's only because I've watched the hell out of those movies and laughed very hard. I get some enjoyment out of them. But, you know, you see like the mockbusters and stuff from Asylum, and none of those are enjoyable. And it sucks the energy out of the room, and you're like, this is just shit. There's no vision at all. And this is just made for grandmas to buy the wrong movie at Walmart in the bin. Yeah, that's true. Like, I've never seen anything like The Room. I've never seen anything like any Neil Breen film. And yeah, it's got their weird, skewed political beliefs, but it's like, it's something that's never been done before. It's a bit intriguing, like. Like, I like a lot of slow movies sometimes that are very, very slow, like Criterion, stuff on Criterion. Very incredibly slow, but it's not boring. It's intriguing. It gives you like just enough to sit in the scene. Troma's another one. Lloyd Kaufman. Yeah. My friend has got Lloyd to be in one of his movies, and he's made like a Troma adjacent movie. Poultrygeist. Oh yeah, that's one that's been on my list. I feel like I've heard that from different people, but I've never seen it. The Toxic Avenger, the classic. I think that's like the Troma one of their biggest successes. Yes, feels good. This group of weirdos wanted to make a film, and they actually found some success with it, and it was very interesting. You know, that and the indie movie circuit, you know, stuff that make it to cans, and then it gets the attention of a big wig, and then they get an actual good run of things. Feels good. Caligula, I've seen Caligula. I can't remember anything about it other than, but I do remember being like, what the hell is going on? Oh, I don't even know. Probably the censored one, or I don't know. I mean, I got a DVD when I last saw it, which, if that gives any indication of how long ago it was when I saw it. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, yeah, that's a classic horror. I mean, Nosferatu getting remade with Willem Dafoe. I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it yet. I heard just like super sexual, but you know what? Hey, Clockwork Orange, my drogies, my little drogies. I can't do a, what's his face? Tetsuo the Iron Man's been on my watch list for a while, but I've never seen it. Oh, yeah. Ellen made a Clockwork Orange guy. Here you go. Close-up vision. We're just talking about weird, interesting movies that you haven't seen anything like before.
Oh, yeah, that definitely is it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Vampires are inherently sexual. It's an allegory. Exactly, yeah. See? We're talking about Nosferatu, and yeah. We're all over the place right now.
What's a weird movie? What's a weird one that... Why? You know when you get asked, I'm like, now I can't think of anything.
The Substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are weird things? The Blob. Things I've never seen before. Turkish Delight is also a good one. I've heard of that.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
What do you got?
It's an old one.
Okay.
What about the... we couldn't get through the one made in the 70s because it was kind of slow, but we watched that movie from the 90s, Rollerball, where it was like a dystopian roller derby league on motorcycles.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
That wasn't good. That was...
I mean, I have not seen anything that elaborate, and also it's just because I think that site is just so expensive. Rollerball, yeah. There's two, yeah. There's one with like... There's like a 90s one, I feel like, and then there's like, yeah, the 70s one.
Seeker says it's great.
Demolition Man, that's another good one.
Hey, we just watched The Running Man. That was weird.
Yeah, that's
It was
another one.
nothing like the book, though. I was mad about that. It was nothing like the book. Jason didn't care, though. He was like, it's its own thing, you know.
A nun that survived falling from a plane. I'm interesting. Yeah. Artful Drill. You know what? If I ever make a DVD release of that movie, Bulk, that's going on there. Artful Dribble. Oh, yeah. That's not a good thing to pass on. Brazil, that's another crazy one, yeah. If you ever worked in an office or whatever, the weird, it's such a, I don't even know, like, yeah. It just starts so bizarrely and stays bizarre the entire time. The Elevator, I don't know. Oh, I love all these. I'm going to parse through these and see what I haven't watched. I know there's that M. Night Shyamalan one in The Elevator. That's like they're all stuck in there. And there's the toast side down. I assume you're not talking about that one. Because that one's kind of, that one's like, yeah, trying to be, but at the same time, it is unique. There's something to the M. Night Shyamalan films, despite some of them being like just bottom of the Total Recall. You know what? I watched Total Recall for the first time many years ago, and I didn't think too much of it. And then I like watched it again. I go, oh, there's like so much stuff you don't pick up on the first watching. RoboCop 2, another one where you gotta like rewatch, and you pick up on a lot of stuff. The Shining is something I had to watch many times before I like. Now I love it. I watch it like every year. I make a point of it to watch it and see something new. But when I first saw it, I was like probably 10 years old, way too early to be watching that, but my mom let me watch everything. And I watched it and I go, this is a horror movie? Like, one person dies. And like there's a bear blowing someone. It's kind of funny. It's like, I didn't get anything. And then you start learning more about like what the fuck did Danny just say? Oh yeah, it is very uncomfortable the way, how cold Jack is to Wendy all the time. And all the different things you just don't pick up on that first watch round. And this guy talking like Bugs Bunny. I was like, what is this? Par Verhoeven, yeah. Paul. He's made a lot of good stuff. Cronenberg's made a lot of good stuff. Verhoeven. Oh. I mispronounce shit all the time. Oh, okay. 3-minute fill. Oh, I turned off text to speech. I will look up how to say it. A film that actually gave me nightmares, and like still kind of does. If I like watch it, it's just like so unsettling. Is specifically the Tarman scene from Return of the Living Dead. That guy, he's just so fucking spooky and goopy and weird, and that just gets in my head, and I have like nightmares of him like coming in my bedroom and like just slowly shambling, being all wet and nasty. Like, I've seen so much weird body horror. Like, I've seen Society and The Fly. But something about the Tarman just sticks out and really gets in my head. Trying to think of another movie that really... The Gate. I watched The Gate when I was really young. And, like, if you've never seen The Gate, they, these two kids open a portal to hell in their backyard, and it's like this big hole in the ground that they just put like a piece of wood over. And there's like these little clay demon monsters. And there's like some really unsettling stuff in The Gate. Highly recommend you watch it. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, just a creepy movie that got in my head. I like didn't want to go outside and... Oh, interesting, yeah. Whew. All right, everybody. The hour is up. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays. And see you tomorrow morning. Bye.